Welcome back, everyone. This is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, here with another Hero and Arena video. And I wanted to start a series where I help people break down their arena teams and different mistakes they may be making and different areas of focus they need to be working on, as well as help them out with their formations. And Soup suggested that to start this series off, I go ahead and go over my own. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break down the different areas of focus that I have, whether it be from my research or my equipment, what heroes work well with that focus, and a formation you can put those heroes in order to get the most out of it. So let's take a look at some of the reports. We'll start here with the first one from an hour ago. We have Gorgor Bay against me, and there's about a 3 million power difference, but let's see exactly what happened here. First off, you can see that he's got better tech than me. Overall, his stats are quite a bit better than mine, except for in one area, and that's infantry squad defense. If you see his stats, they're within about 17% here, only about 9% here. But if you look at my stats, while I still have okay squad attack and squad defense, stuff like that, there's a large gap between my infantry squad attack and everything else. Same for my infantry squad defense and infantry squad HP. I have gone full bore into infantry, so I need to make sure that I focus on that when I'm building a team. My gear reflects this as well. He's got a bit more spread out gear, having points in infantry squad defense. He's got the pants for research speed, more than likely. So he's got squad capacity, research speed, and gathering speed as his golds, whereas I have a supreme in infantry defense and squad capacity, infantry attack, and the basic damages was my focuses there. He's got me beaten tech. Hero choices aren't too vastly different. As you can see, his Martin is better than mine by a couple of levels. I have Awakened Raigoro, whereas he does not, which is a pretty significant boost to counter damage as well as reduction in damage squads. And the Awakened Thunder, he decided to pair with Charlie. Nakano Lewis is a very common pairing for ranged commanders because they can make use of Nakano's attack percentage to attack buff to boost Lewis's AoE damage significantly. I currently, with the new heroes coming up, this will likely change. Currently run Jaden for the 30% debuff on whoever I'm targeting, which usually ends up being that singular person out to the side, and Alex to help buff all of my infantry defense by a whopping 40%. This is likely what is giving me a very huge edge, because my infantry squad defense is already higher than his, and I'm boosting it by another 40% fairly consistently. And he doesn't run Alex at all. So, he's got an infantry focus, but he's running full ranged commander here, which is fine if you have the ranged squad buff in order to combat that. He's got a 21% buff here, which does put his ranged squad attack higher than his infantry squad attack. Perfectly viable. Come down here using Adut Thunder. Very powerful team. A lot of good infantry buffs, a well-rounded team, and if you've heard me talk about making a good team for the field or for arena, a well-rounded team, while good, is not going to be great. And then you have the standard Awakened Catherine and Near Awakened Cynthia running Riders. How well did each of these units do? Well, compared against my Adut Charlie, which Adut's not awakened. I'm working on her next. I like Adut Charlie for the AoE infantry damage, and it stacks another 12% infantry attack on top of her already impressive attack buffs. And then I run Lee as well, which is another reason I'm likely beating him. I have plenty of buff and debuff on my team, whereas Gorgor Bay focuses primarily on making the wall and making some damage to follow it. There's not enough team debuff or team buff to compensate for what I'm getting. Back to the data itself. As expected, Nakano Lewis doing a great amount of damage in combat. Really not surprised there. Having Raigoro Charlie being the last person left tells me that there's a positioning error on this one. Raigoro Charlie is designed to be swarmed. You want it to take on as many people as possible in order to get Raigoro's shields more active and Charlie hitting as many people as possible early on in the fight. Similar to how I run Raigoro Thunder. We'll do the replay later, but I'm going to assume that he does not have this on the outskirts of the fight like he probably should, because he has two other decent infantry commanders to make the box. So, Raigoro Charlie being left, likely a positioning issue. And because it doesn't have as much damage as it should, he's probably got it in a bottom corner somewhere. Tom Martin, insane amount of heals. Adut Thunder, great amount of heals. Is actually topping the healing that my Tom Martin and my Raigoro Thunder is doing. So already impressive in that respect, likely due to the higher HP buffs that he has. So to be expected. Alex, nice little chump change worth of healing here. But we get down to my actual damage dealers, and I'm making a lot more. I'm causing a lot more damage to him than he's capable of causing to me. While it would have taken quite a long time for me to take down a Raigoro Charlie, I would have eventually won this fight if they left it out. So let's check the replay. Now I can't pause this during the fight, but here you see Raigoro down at the bottom. This Raigoro Charlie is only capable of hitting one person, and none of its counter damage is in play right now because it's not being targeted. So you have my Jaden Alex going to die. But I don't expect him to live. I want him to get enough of a head start that I can win. Oh. Now, both of my buffers will move closer and closer to the rest of my team until Jaden Alex and Lee Lewis are affecting pretty much everyone on the field. So you've got Lee in a really good position right now, able to hit both Tom and Nakano with debuff. Jaden buffing Lee's damage and, based on the circle, also buffing Tom Martin's defense. And they did take down my Raigoro. They're going to take down Alex next, but I've created so much of a gap, you can take my buffer out, you're not going to win. And we'll let this play out. It's left to Raigoro versus 4. He will get to kill Jaden before time's up. And there you have it. So, that's how my team does on a defense. This is currently my defensive lineup. I put Jaden on the front line down here because I want to protect Adut Charlie to be able to do as much damage as possible. Jaden Alex, because of how I have him set up, the most The maximum number of people that can hit him is 2. And he's also hard to get to from the side as well. So if for some reason they stack up these 4 here and they're 5th like I do, even if they do beat Raigoro Thunder, which the way I have it set up, if you manage to beat my Raigoro Thunder before I kill whatever you have over here, you've won. I've pretty much got no defense for that. But you're not going to be able to kill Jaden quickly enough if you stack 2, unless you stack 2 people here. And if you stack 2 on this spot, Raigoro Thunder's not going to die anytime soon. So this is my team. I have my Raigoro off to the side. I have my Tom Martin, Jaden, Alex on the front line. Lee with his debuff, which is the most important factor to me. And then Adut Charlie with a nice little chunk of damage for infantry. If you would like me to go through and analyze your team looking at the different stats, the different buffs, I can go through any heroes you might have, show you how you can place them, different changes that I would make to your team. Please let me know. I'll be more than happy to do this in a video format, or you can reach out to me personally on Discord. Happy to work with anyone. I would just curious if anyone would be interested in doing this with me in a video format so that we can teach you how to make your team better, but also teach anyone who might be running the same formation or similar formations that you are. Because let's be honest, there's a limited number of formations that you can make that are actually viable. And chances are a lot of people are making similar mistakes. So let's work together. Let's try and get each individual team running to the best they possibly can. And I'm more than happy to make a video or use Discord to answer any questions that you may have. You can also reach out to me in game. This is my commander ID up here in the top. Feel free to pause, read that. You can put that into the friends list. I clear out people that aren't talking to me recently, so I don't have a full friends list. You can send me your arena reports, and I'm happy to go over your heroes and your formation anytime. I will likely get back to you in about 24 hours, depending on when you send it. So, if you're just now watching this video, just know that you could have gotten this video 24 hours sooner over on my Patreon page. It's one of the things I do to support those that are supporting me over on Patreon. If you would like to get to these videos just a little bit sooner, head on over to Patreon. Give me a little support. I'm working on trying to get you all as much benefit from doing that as possible. And please feel free to give me suggestions as well. And with that, this is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, signing off.